Good morning. Just wanted to do a brief summary of the tips I went over last night in the treatment call. So there are a few tips that came up throughout the treatment last night. I just want to cover them very briefly so that you have them more at hand rather than having to watch a 50-minute video and kind of pick the bits out that I've mentioned as I went along. Okay, so there's a couple of points on your body which are really good. I've mentioned them before. They're really good for anxiety and then any gut issues. Okay, so first one, just behind the ear. So if you go to the earlobe and then come back about a centimetre, you'll feel there's a muscle. So it's your sternocleidomastoid muscle, which runs down the side of your neck there to the collarbone. Okay, sterno, and then this mastoid, the mastoid process. So that's here. So sternocleidomastoid. Okay, so that on both sides, that links in with cranial nerve 10. That's your vagus nerve. Your vagus nerve lives just around that point. Okay, it comes out of your skull there. Okay, through a little hole. The holes in your bones are called fossa. Okay, so the fossa there, I can't remember the exact name of that one. Okay, so it comes out of that there and it runs down your neck. Okay, and it goes to all of your organs. Okay, so heart, lungs, liver, gallbladder, stomach, pancreas, spleen, small intestine, large intestine, bladder, uterus, whatever you've got. Okay, runs to all of them. Okay, so it is a sensing nerve, so it receives information from your viscera, from the organs, and it's a it's afferent and efferent, so it sends messages out and it receives messages back in. Okay, great for reducing gut pain, and if you've got you're panicking or anything like that, okay, and you're okay, great place to rub. Okay, I've mentioned before the covering the ears, tapping. Okay, it's for pain. Okay, anxiety, just that on its own. Okay, another one in the leg. I'll just bring my leg up. Okay, so go from the shin bone. So we've got shin bone, and then we've got the fibula. So tib, fib, somewhere in between the two there is rubbing there. Okay, that is a meridian point called stomach 36. Incredibly powerful for particularly stomach problems. If you've got reflux, bloating, particularly at the higher end of the gastric chain. Okay, so sort of stomach region. Okay, but it will also covers. It also seems to cover other stuff as well. So it's really good for that. What's next? Okay, trigeminal reflex. Okay, so just in here, so halfway between your mouth and your chin, you've got a little cleft. So the way to fire it is to put a finger on it, okay, and then loose jaw. Okay, give it a little tap. Okay, and you should feel kind of a reflex action of the jaw, so it'll kind of jolt a little bit as you do it. Okay, and it's great for firing up the muscles of the jaw. You've got some internal muscles in here called the pterygoids and a bunch of other stuff in there as well. It's going to be great for neck tension with the muscles all under here, and also for the anterior neck. Okay, so if your head is forward, you have tight clenching jaws. Okay, not only is that bad for the vagus nerve back in here, and I'll explain that briefly in a second. Okay, it's also great for if you grind your teeth. You got jaw pain, you get TMJ disorder, you get locks around the jaw, or you just get general jaw pain and headaches as well. So tap, 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 rub on the jaw, hold it for 5 seconds, okay, onto the muscle, hold it for a little bit less, and then down onto the, it's hard to see, okay, onto the edge of the jawbone. Okay, so you've got the corner there. Okay, great place to rub. Okay, so from under the cheekbones, just in front of where a gentleman's sideburns would be. So it's not on the sideburn itself, so it's not right back here, that's bony. Okay, it's a little bit forward of that, down that region. Okay, really great muscle to rub. Okay, so right up into the top and pushing up towards the eye, into the cheekbone, down here, and then all through the muscle. Okay, that's going to help relieve tension, not only in the jaw, but also in the neck and under. Okay, so tap, 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 tap. Okay, 2, 3, 4 of those. Rub, rub. Okay, and it just releases a lot of that. I'll come back to describing the forward head posture. So forward head posture, if I come back to this point here, okay, so the vagus nerve point, okay, so if my head's forward, I'm kind of jutted out, chin's jutted out, and that's so we can look forward, okay, so it all comes back to, you know, hunting and stuff, okay, so our eyes need to be level so that we can hunt, okay, that's what we're designed to do. But if we've got a forward head posture because all these muscles are really tight, we still need to be able to hunt, so our body automatically focuses our gaze on the horizon. So with a forward head posture we get a really tight neck, okay, that squeezes on this nerve, that creates stress, okay, because it then squeezes that nerve, our body then can't communicate very well with the organs, okay? So the organs get stressed and the organs don't work correctly with forward head posture, okay? So it's very important to bring the head back, stretch that area out to release tension on that nerve or any squeeze on that nerve so that it can communicate properly with the rest of the body. Very important stuff. Okay. Next, okay, lymphatics. Okay, I won't describe the whole thing for lymphatics, but lymphatics is very important. Every time, so let's say that's a lymphatic thing somewhere in my arm or somewhere in my body. Okay, everywhere there is a lymphatic drain, a lymphatic vessel, that's what the word I was looking for. There is always a blood supply and there is always a nerve supply. If the lymphatics are clogged, it's going to apply pressure to the blood supply and or the nervous system. So if lymphatics don't drain, it causes inflammation on the nervous system or the blood supply or both. If it's the blood supply, you're not going to get oxygen to the muscles and the tissues effectively. If it's the nervous system, you're not going to get messages to and from the tissues correctly. So lymphatics has like a triple whammy effect of, if you reduce or improve the function of the lymphatic system, you're automatically going to improve the function of the nervous system and the blood supply. Okay. Bonus. Okay, so and again, that's really easy. That's tapping. These are just the main lymphatic points of the body. So collarbone first, neck, upper chest, I do centre of chest, tummy, into the groin, back of the knees. They're the main areas where there's lots of nodes in the body. Okay, there's loads all around the body, but those are the main sites. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. We also covered cranial nerves a little bit for hearing. Okay, but cranial nerve 5, okay, is called the trigeminal nerve. That's the one we're doing when we're firing that up. It does link in to the ear. Okay, so it's an evolutionary kind of throwback from snakes. Okay, so snakes don't have ears like we do. Okay, they have different jaw structure. Okay, but one of our bones in our ear has evolved and changed to become one of our hearing bones. Okay, so but it's still attached to cranial nerve 5. It's not attached to cranial nerve 8, which is our listening and balance system. Okay, so cranial nerve 5 is still linked with listening. It's an evolutionary throwback to reptilian life, okay, where they had different jaws and jaw musculature. Okay, it's also similar with cranial nerve 7. Okay, I can't remember exactly what inner ear structure it is, but it's more to do with the balance system. Cranial nerve 7 predominantly kind of skin of the forehead, eyebrows, and kind of facial expression around the face. Okay, so it's kind of, for cranial nerve 7 is the facial nerve. Okay, but again, it links in with the inner ear, so stimulating muscles of the face, you know, creating different expressions can change your hearing. So that covers, that was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. That covers all of the tips and things that I covered last night in the treatment call. So take note of some of those. Okay, use the ones that you need. Okay, come back to this whenever you need it.